Hey everyone, looking to make a professional looking e-commerce website using Wix Studio. I'm going to be showing you how to add a sidecart, add a user account with previous payments and history, as well as cards stored, a gift card option. I'm going to show you how to display and filter products, apply sale prices, make your site responsive for desktop, tablet and mobile, as well as show you how to manage the back-end operations. Phew! And if you didn't think that was enough, I'm going to show you how to add animations on elements and use AI image generation features, as well as use the code editor and the Wix IDE so that you can truly personalize your site, even outside of all of Wix Studio's available options. By this, I not only mean change the CSS, but also add functionality to the site, such as displaying or hiding certain things on the web page based on variables such as if you're logged in or not, and so on. Okay, so what are we waiting for? Here's the full list of what we will be covering today, so pause here if you need to go through it. Otherwise, let's get going by clicking on the link in the video description below so that we can get started at the same point. Let's do it. Okay, so let's do it. We're going to start off here. Okay, so not on Wix.com, on Wix Studio, because this is going to allow us to essentially customize the templates as well as do a bunch of other cool stuff. So let's go, let's start creating. So first of all, of course, we are going to be building an online shop, and we can use a Studio template, use a Studio blank canvas, use a Studio sitemap and wireframes, use the Wix editor, or use your own templates. Now, if you watched my tutorials before, you will see that you can also use AI in order to essentially create the wireframes of a website for you. So all you would do is essentially write a prompt and the website will be generated. So for example, if you want to create a salon app, then the booking will be added automatically in the wireframe. But we're not going to be doing that today, so let's just go ahead and skip to templates. So for this, we are going to be selecting e-commerce because we are building online store, and let's start creating. So here are some studios we can start with: a business consultant template, a fashion store, a marketing agency, real estate projects. We also have creative agency, insurance company, or we can explore all templates. So that's what I'm going to do. Now this is quite nice. I think we should start with a template that we can customize. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Once again, there are so many great ones. There's a Chinese restaurant that looks really cool, a creative agency, an AI tech company, a hair salon, a construction company, a gift shop. So today, I think because we want to go with a standard online store, I'm going to select the gift shop. So let's go ahead and edit this template right here. Okay, and let's just wait for this to load. And here we go, here is our template. So of course we have the header. We also have a little banner here displaying some information such as a discount. We have a search bar. We of course have our shopping bag. And then here are some chosen items to display along with the shop now button. Now, the imagery here is pretty nice. When you create your own online store, make sure you have some great images that's really going to set you apart from the rest. Of course, if you don't have images, I'm going to show you something cool here as well that Wix Studio has built in, which is an AI photo generator. So that could be an option for you too. So once again, here we have some actual items. So these are some items that are actually in our store. You will see the images, you will see the price. You will also see a strike-through price for if it is on sale. And once again, just more displays of images along with some collections they are in. So this website is really nice. You're also going to learn how to create a gift card and allow customers to subscribe to your newsletters as well. Okay, great. So now if I want to actually check this out, all I would do is go to this URL right here. So let's scroll all the way back up. So you could go to this URL or you could select the preview button right here. And now you will see what it looks like on a desktop, on a mobile. So as you can see, this is pretty responsive. You can also select tablet, or you can be very specific in your width and height. Okay? I'm going to choose to essentially edit this desktop first. So great. And also when you are previewing, another benefit of this is that all the links will work. So if you click the Shop Now button, it will take you to the shop page. So here you have all your products. So let's just go ahead and also search and hit enter, and that should also work. So there we go. We get all the results for a vase. There are 18 results, or if you want to change your search, you can do so here. So maybe let's go with cards and see what comes back. Okay, so a few things came back as well. Great. Now, of course, we can clear the search. Now, another cool thing is actually if you click on the item, okay, you can actually view it fully. So it will show you a product page of that item where it gives you a product description. You can also select the color, so the image will change when you select the colorway. You can add the quantity, and you can also get the product info, as well as this cool drop down of the return and refund policy or the shipping info. So this accordion is visible, and you can also have links to WhatsApp, Facebook, Pinterest, or X if you want. Okay, I also like the suggested column. So this is items that are suggested to you based on your choice. So now I can, of course, go ahead and either choose to buy now or choose to add to cart. So I've chosen to add to cart, and now we get the side cart pop up. So this is looking good. I'm really happy with that. Or if you select on here, well, of course, we have the home. We also have the shop, which you viewed. We have the gift card, we have the sale, and we also have this icon here, which essentially is my account. And this will show you information about me, including my wish list. My wish list is essentially items that I've hearted before. You can also see my wallet, my address, and my orders. So if you click on my orders, your finished orders will show up. Like I said, my account will just have my personal information like my name, my login info, and so on. My addresses will have my addresses associated with previous orders. My wallet essentially has my credit card details that I have used previously and an option to add another payment method. And like I said, my wish list will have my favorited products that I have saved. Now, if we click on here, we can also view our cart. So this is just an expanded version of our cart where we can also enter a promo code. So that is another option that we can do, as well as add a note for the order. So perhaps if this is a gift, that is an option that we can do. Great. So now that we've covered that, let's look at the gift card section. So this essentially will allow us to purchase gift cards. So we can select an amount, we can also add a quantity, and we can select if the gift is for someone else or for myself, and of course put in the recipient's details so they can receive it, and click buy now. So this is a great addition. If you have an e-commerce store, I would really suggest having it too. And finally, if we want sale items, we can click on sale. So that is an option too. And this will show you all the items that are on sale. You can also filter by price and by color. So for example, let's say I minimize the price and say only items in blue and red, all those items will show up. Okay, so this has two color options and this has two options as well. Great. We can also sort by newest, price, as well as name. So it really is a lot to search by. And if we want to reduce one, so for example, if we get rid of blue and red and only show items from 10 to 60 dirhams, that will show up. And of course, we can clear all. So I hope you're excited to build this. Let's cover each step one by one and finish off by customizing this project. So let's go. So first off, I'm just going to go back to the home page so we can start from there, and let's click on edit site. Okay, so here we have our home page. Now, one thing we can also do is add animations. So for example, if I click on elements, so if I select maybe this right here and then get this up, and the basic shape is selected. This is an animation. Okay, so I can edit it here. If I want to change the color, for example, I can change it. So here I make it more opaque, or of course I can change the color just by selecting this, either from my theme colors. So this is the theme I have currently, or just a custom color if I want. So I will do so by going here and then just selecting it. So I can make it pink if I want, just like so, or a darker red. Okay. Great. Now the animation, I can choose to animate it on entrance, so when the element goes into view, when we hover over it, so perhaps that's something I will do. When we click it, that is another thing we can add. When we scroll over it or loop, or we have a separate mouse effect. But I think today, let's just go with click and hover. So when we click it, what do we want to do? Well, we can toggle it on or off, or start the animation, or reset the animation. I want to have it, I think, expand. So let's adjust the animation. So I think, yeah, let's make it go 105% for 0.3 seconds and ease in and out. And let's preview. Okay, so you can see it kind of go whoop, whoop, whoop. And that's if we click on it. On hover, we're going to start the animation. We've selected the element and I actually want to make it shrink. So let's adjust the animation and we'll make it shrink a little bit. Again, the same duration, and we're going to ease in and out. So now if I preview, it should shrink on hover and expand on click. Great. I can also change the shape if I want. So for example, maybe that, but as it is a like, we'll keep it as it is. Great. Let's publish our site to see the changes. So I'm just going to use the free Wix Studio domain. You can connect your customized domain, but we're not going to do that for today. So let's save and continue. So now let's view the site. And great. So if you hover over that, that will shrink very slightly. It's kind of hard to see. And if you click on it, it should expand. Now, in order to see this, it will prompt you to log in or sign up if you haven't already. So I'm going to choose to sign up with Google. Okay, so that is also an option too. And of course, once you are logged in, you will be able to see all the things that you have saved as a like. So here is my wish list. Of course, we don't have anything at the moment, but once again, if you hover over it, it will shrink. And if you click on it, it will expand. Great. So now let's keep this up while we continue to edit. So perhaps let's maybe make this a little bit bigger so it's way more obvious. So I'm going to double click on that. This is just to show you, okay, I'm going to adjust the animation and let's make this shrink down all the way to 30. Okay, so there we go. And the expand, again, we're going to adjust the animation and let's make it expand to 150 instead. Okay, so now that is much more obvious. Let's publish. And if we refresh, okay, so now that we've done that, if we hover over this, whoa, that really shrinks this time. So once again, shrink, click, shrink, whoa. Okay, that looks pretty fun. Let's move on. So I'm just going to go back here now. Of course, you can mess around with this as much as you want. That is going to be up to you. You can select the hover, you can delete the hover, click here, remove animation, and there we go. So if we publish that one more time and click on here, just to see what it looked like, you know, publish and live. Now the only thing that happens is an expand on the click. Okay, so that will get stuck like that, just like so, and then you click on it to go back. Okay, great. That's enough of the animations. You can apply them to anything in here. So animation's over. Now, I did mention there is a theme for the site. Of course, if you like to change it, what I would do is just click on the site styles and there we go. So here are all the site styles. So for example, if I want to replace this color, I can do so. So I'll just go ahead and do that. And anytime that color is used in the theme, it will now be blue. So I quite like that. Let's go ahead and change it for all of these as well. So here I'm going to select a darker blue, but still kind of in the same theme as the blue one. And then on the orange as well, I'm just going to go with this kind of really grayish blue. So just like that. And as you can see, my site looks totally different now, but still kind of keeping in the same vibe. Okay? So cool, I like this. So we can also, of course, do it for the fonts. I quite like the fonts, so I'm not going to change them. But here, essentially, we can assign different fonts to either heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, and so on. Okay, so like I said, these are the site styles. You can break them down by color, typography, and the widths to the site. Or if you are not happy with just one thing, so you want to keep the site style, but you want to just change one little thing, you can do so. Let's perhaps do this. So this, of course, is red. I'm just going to get up this tab again, and let's hit on edit. So this button right here, well, if we want to change the text, we can change it like here and so. So for example, shop here, and that will be updated just like that. Okay, I refreshed the page and that turned to blue as well. Great. Okay, so this is looking good. We've just covered the theme of the site. Great. So animations theme. The next thing I'm going to do is actually show you how to create those gift cards. So for that, what we're actually going to do is we can look at all the pages here. We can select gift cards, and that will show you the page we are working with. However, what is more important is that we actually go over to the My Business section. So the My Business section is essentially how you're going to make sure that that gift card works and actually define what amounts you want to buy with a gift card and so on. So for this, you will need to upgrade to accept payments. So I'm going to do it without that. If you choose to then go further and choose to make payments through this site, I would suggest you do that. Great. So let's go ahead and manage products. So here we are on our dashboard. Essentially what you will see here is all the products that we are selling on our site. We will come back to this. Let's go to gift cards first. So here you can essentially design these settings of your gift card. So here we have the amount. We also have set the expiration as never expired. And if you click on edit gift card, you can choose the description, the name, and then you can choose the amount. So for example, maybe I just want 3 amounts, or you can also let customers enter their own custom amount. So that is also something you can do. And if you choose to have an expiration date, you can choose 24 months from the date of purchase. And let's save. So now if you view this in the editor, this is what your gift card options will be. Okay? So there we go, that is our gift card. Once again, you would need to connect the payments for this to work, but I'm just showing you how to customize it essentially. Wonderful. Okay, so here it's updated with 3 options or other amount, which we can do. And again, you can select the quantity and select the recipient details. Cool. Okay. Now, once again, if we go to My Business and click on Manage Products, then the thing we're going to look at next is all the products. So as I said, here you'll see all the products, or 18 of our products. You can choose to filter them by physical, digital, what's in stock and out of stock, because this will also have an inventory. So for example, let's go ahead and edit this product. When you add a product, you can of course add an image. So these are some images and their variations, or if you choose the image item and you essentially don't have an image, you can also choose the AI image generator. So create a vase that is green and you can create an image. So that is something for you. Of course, you probably want to use your own images for this section, because you're selling this. I don't think you're going to make this vase, but you can add this if you want. For example, if it's just for illustration purposes. So there we go. So now we have 3 options here. I'm just going to remove this for now because that was just to show you. And of course we have the product info. We also have a ribbon with the 15% off that you can add, the description, the product info, the return and refund policy, the shipping info, the pricing, which is on sale. So that is a toggle where you can select the discount if you want. Okay, and of course what is also great is that you can have colorways here and you can track inventory. So this is its stock, or you can choose to essentially set the inventory itself. So let's say you have 10 of these, so that will show out of stock when those are sold. So that is probably an option that you want if you're aware of your stock, or if you literally create the items yourself, just have in stock. It really is that easy. So we've done the products, we've done the inventory and categories. So you can organize your products in categories. This just makes it much easier to display it on your website because you can choose to grab a category and display it. So all our products are in 18, but they're also split out onto accessories, get ready for spring, and so on. So you can choose to create a new category where you would simply name it and then choose the items from your inventory to be in that category. Okay, so that is an option too. One nice thing is you can have back in stock requests. So you can start collecting requests. So for example, if you have only made one thing and you're not sure whether you want to invest your time in making more, people can actually request it. So you get the request and that's when you make the item. So that is another great feature of this. Phew! There is so much more to explore with this, for example, the sales channel. However, that's outside the scope of this tutorial. Okay, this does exist. We are just focusing on creating an online site and customizing it with our own code. Okay, so you can choose to connect your eBay, connect your Amazon, and even TikTok catalog if you want. One other cool thing is there is actual third-party apps. So you might need to pay for these, but they are great. So for example, if you want to do drop shipping or you want to print t-shirts on demand, that is also an option too. Great. So that is the apps. Let's continue. Now, I'm going to just show you the CMS. The CMS essentially lets you manage content. So for example, if you have loads and loads of images and you want to manage them, you can do so from here. And not just images, videos, and so on. One other thing you can do is actually get the collections from your Wix form. So when people do use the form on your site, it will be collected in here. So we have a subscribe, which at the moment doesn't have any people sign up to it. But of course, if I go here and maybe let's go to our homepage. So this is on our published site and scroll all the way down here. So now let's do anya@codewithanya.com. Yes, subscribe me, submit. Thanks, we received your submission. Let's go back here. Let's click on submissions and ta-da, we have one submission. We have one that's gone to spam, so that's the test one. So wonderful. That is looking good. Okay, so I feel like we've covered the pages, we've covered the site styles, we've shown you how to select media and also create AI images. We've also shown the third-party apps, the business settings, where you can actually set your business things such as the gift card. We also shown the CMS. Now it's time to look at the elements, and we can do so through code or we can do so through layers. Now the layers here, so these are all the layers that make up the home page. Okay, so here's the home page, and currently we are on the subscribe element, which is made up of a stack element, which has the H2 element and a P element and the forms. So you will see they will kind of show up when you click on them. Wonderful. So layers should be easy enough to work with. What is more interesting and more fun, however, is actually getting the code. So you can personalize it. And to do this, you click here. So you'll have to turn on coding for this to show up. As you can see, I've already turned it on, so I can turn it off. And here we have the page code. So here is all the page code. You also have the backend and public code, the search code, meaning you can search your whole code base, databases, meaning you can create a completely new collection or even add an external database if you want. Work with packages, so just like you would in your code editor, you can install npm packages. Okay, so that is quite cool, and so on. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's look at the page code first. So you can also open this up. So here we go. Here are the pages. You have the global CSS, which will affect the whole app. And then you have the home page. So this is the code that will affect the home page. Okay, you can also open this up in the code in Wix IDE. So for those who perhaps don't want to see what they are working on in the same window and want a clearer view of the code, this is one for you. So once again, here is the home page, and this is the global CSS. Okay, so great. This is just a more traditional way of viewing all your code. I'm going to shut this down for now. So I'm going to start coding in here because we can't have two open at once. And I'm going to show you how to work with this. So the global CSS. Well, like I said, this is going to affect the whole page. So for example, if I want to get anything with the class name of button in here and change the background to red, that's how you would do it. So now all my buttons will have a background color of red. It really is that easy. Of course, you can also select items in here if you're not sure of their properties. So here, for example, we could have picked this out by its ID. So that is pretty useful too. So hopefully the global CSS is quite self-explanatory for those who have worked with CSS. One other thing I want to show you is how to work with Velo. So this $W is from Velo, and essentially it allows us to do many things. Find elements is one of them. So I'm actually just going to get rid of all of this for now so I can show you an example. I'm just going to paste this in like so. So this is a package that we're going to import today that's already been imported, and once again on ready, so this is going to affect the whole home page. I'm going to check if Wix user's current user is logged in, and if it is, I want to grab an element, so a text element by its text, and just put welcome back. Else, so if we are not logged in, I wanted to say become a member. So perhaps let's go ahead and just show it on here. So let's select this text. So this one right here, this has the ID of text 15. So let's grab that and whack it in, making sure to have the hash there for ID. And let's give it a whirl. So I'm just going to run this to see if it works. So as we are logged in, welcome back shows up. Okay, if we were logged out, the other message would show up. So that is now running. This developer console is great for debugging as well. Okay, so that is another useful thing to have. We can clear the console, and if we go back to edit site, our code will show up again. How cool is that? So hopefully you now get the syntax for working with the Velo API. So once again, everything in these curly braces is for the home page, and you just use the $W to pick elements and then do things to them. Great. Now let's use functions. So I'm just going to do the same logic. If Wix user's current user is logged in, then let's say we want to see this button right here. So I'm going to essentially show it, else we're gonna hide it. So here is me using a function to hide an element. Of course, let's pick out this element right here. This is button with ID of 5. So let's go ahead and replace that. So we're gonna hide it, and then we're gonna use a function to show it if they are logged in. So I'm just going to use the show method like so. So let's run it and let's see. So that is now running. I'm just going to publish it so I can view it online. So let's view the site. Let's scroll down. We are logged out right now. So it says become a member, and you don't see that button anymore. And now let's log in. So log back in, and it says welcome back, and the shop button is there. Great, this has worked. I love it. Okay, so we've covered methods and properties from the Velo documentation. If you want to check out more, here's all the stuff you can do. Okay, just make sure to go through them all. But essentially, if you pick on an element, so any of the elements that you can use, you get the introduction and you get what you can do with that element. Okay, so there really is a lot. So next time you need to build an e-commerce site for a client, you may want to check out Wix Studio for that project. Have fun.